Deciding where to spend your hard-earned holiday money is one of life's more pleasant predicaments. It's a bit like being a child in a sweet shop, but the sweets are entire countries, and they cost a great deal more than a pocket full of change. Today, we pit two behemoths of the travel world against each other in a friendly, albeit globe-spanning showdown. Australia versus the United States of America. On one side, you have a continent so vast and sun-scorched, it seems to have been designed by a particularly enthusiastic deity with a fondness for desserts and things that can kill you. On the other, a nation so sprawling and diverse, it contains nearly every landscape and climate imaginable, all stitched together by an interstate highway system and a shared love for things that are deep-fried. Now, I've had the good fortune to wander, often aimlessly, through both of these magnificent places. I have been bewildered by the sheer emptiness of the Australian outback and equally dumbfounded by the sheer everythingness of New York City. I've tried to understand Australian rules football, and I've tried to understand the American Electoral College, and I can't say I've succeeded with either. This isn't about declaring one country definitively better. That's a fool's errand. Instead, it's about holding them up to the light, turning them over, and examining their glorious and sometimes baffling eccentricities. It's a clash of titans, a battle of cultures, a comparison of continents. So pack your bags, metaphorically speaking, and let's dive into this grand contest. The challenge is a formidable one. How do you compare a place where the national animal is a bouncing marsupial with a place where the national bird is a majestic predator that was nearly wiped out by pesticides? One country gave us the boomerang and Vegemite. The other gave us jazz music and the donut. Australia is famously laid back, a nation of no worries, while America is famously ambitious, a nation of go bigger. They both speak English, sort of, but use it in ways that can leave a visitor delightfully confused. If Australia is defined by its vast, uniform emptiness, the United States is defined by its vast, staggering variety. It's less a single country, and more a collection of wildly different countries that have agreed, for the most part, to share a flag and a postal service. Driving across America is like channel surfing through landscapes, climates, and cultures. You can start in the lush, temperate rainforests of the Pacific Northwest, drive down through the sun-baked deserts of Arizona, cut across the pancake-flat plains of the Midwest, climb through the misty Appalachian Mountains, and end up in the humid, Spanish moss-draped South. It is, in a word, everything. The country's national parks are its crown jewels, and rightly so. There's the Grand Canyon, which is less a canyon and more a wound in the Earth's crust, so profound it makes you feel dizzy. There's Yellowstone, a bubbling, steaming geothermal wonderland where bison wander past geysers as if it's the most normal thing in the world. There's Yosemite, with its sheer granite cliffs and waterfalls that seem to fall from the heavens. Visiting these parks is like stepping into a postcard, a reminder that for all its concrete and commerce, America possesses a natural beauty that is truly world-class. And then there are the cities, each with its own distinct personality, its own soundtrack, its own flavor. New York is a vertical metropolis of relentless energy, a city that feels like the center of the universe. Los Angeles is a sprawling, sun-drenched dream factory where everyone seems to be either famous or trying to be. New Orleans is a city steeped in music, magic, and a history as thick as the humid air, where life is lived on the streets to a soundtrack of jazz. Chicago is the muscular, no-nonsense heart of the Midwest, a city of bold architecture and deep-dish pizza. To travel between them is to experience America's incredible cultural patchwork. What binds this disparate collection of places together is a sense of restless energy, of possibility. It's the land of the road trip, the cross-country journey in search of something new. It's a culture built on innovation, ambition, and a belief that bigger is often better. Comparing Australian and American cities is like comparing a relaxed afternoon barbecue with a blockbuster movie premiere. Both are enjoyable, but the energy is entirely different. Australian cities, even the big ones like Sydney and Melbourne, feel wonderfully livable. They are built around harbors and rivers, blessed with parks and beaches, designed for a life lived outdoors. There's a palpable sense that work is something you do so you can go enjoy the sunshine. People aren't in a frantic rush. They meander, they linger over coffee, they knock off early on a Friday to head to the pub or the beach. It's a very civilized way to exist. Sydney is the show pony. It's beautiful and it knows it. The city is draped around one of the world's most stunning natural harbors, and everything seems to be oriented towards the water. You can take a ferry past the Opera House walk across the harbor bridge, or find a hidden beach just a short bus ride from the city center. Melbourne, by contrast, is Sydney's more introspective, creative sibling. Its charm isn't as immediately obvious. You have to explore its labyrinthine laneways covered in world-class street art to find hidden bars, quirky boutiques, and what is arguably the best coffee on the planet. It's a city that rewards curiosity. American cities, on the other hand, operate on a different frequency. They hum with an intensity and a sense of purpose that can be intoxicating. New York City, of course, is the prime example. It's a vertical forest of steel and glass, a place of such concentrated human energy that it feels like it might spontaneously combust. Life is fast, loud, and lived in public. It's a city where you can see or do literally anything at any hour of the day or night. One of the great joys of travel is, of course, eating. And in this department, both Australia and America offer a feast of possibilities, though they come at it from rather different angles. Australian cuisine, for a long time, was a bit of a punchline, synonymous with meat pies and overcooked lamb. But that is an ancient, outdated cliché. Modern Australian food, or Mod Oz, is a vibrant, glorious fusion, drawing heavily on its proximity to Asia and the Mediterranean. It's all about fresh, high-quality ingredients, sensational seafood, incredible fruits, world-class beef and lamb, all prepared with a light, creative touch. In any Australian city, you'll find brilliant Thai, Vietnamese, Chinese food, sitting comfortably alongside superb Italian and Greek. The national obsession, however, is brunch. Australians have elevated the late-morning meal into an art form. Smashed avocado on sourdough toast, adorned with feta, and a perfectly poached egg. American food, much like the country itself, is all about regional diversity and going big. It's a cuisine of comfort, of tradition, and of sheer, unadulterated indulgence. Every region has its specialty: Texas barbecue, Carolina barbecue, Creole cooking of Louisiana, Cajun cooking of Louisiana, a rich, spicy gumbo of French, Spanish, and African influences. In New England, sublime clam chowder, lobster rolls, and of course, the quintessential American meal, the hamburger, the hot dog, and the pizza, each perfected in countless regional variations across the country. When it comes to the great outdoors, both Australia and the United States offer spectacles that can leave you speechless, but they are spectacles of a very different nature. Australia's beauty is stark, ancient, often hostile. It's a landscape baked by the sun for eons, a palette of reds, oranges, dusty greens. The outback is its spiritual heart, a place of profound silent space. To stand before Uluru as the sun sets, watching it shift through a dozen shades of crimson, is a quasi-religious experience. It feels less like a rock, more like a sleeping giant. Then there is the coast. Australia is an island, its coastline. Breathtaking beaches, rugged cliffs, the Great Ocean Road. Off Queensland lies the Great Barrier Reef, one of the planet's natural wonders. A submerged universe of kaleidoscopic color, a city of coral teeming with life so vibrant it seems unreal. The American outdoors, by contrast, feels like a grand, dramatic theme park designed by a benevolent creator. Landscapes more varied, more accessible. Yosemite, monumental granite cathedrals in California carved by glaciers into cliffs, waterfalls. Yellowstone, geysers, hot springs, a landscape that bubbles and steams as if the earth itself is alive. Navigating a new country is always an adventure in itself, filled with small triumphs and baffling moments. In terms of cost, both Australia and the United States can be quite expensive, especially in the major cities. Australia, in particular, can come as a bit of a shock to the wallet. A simple pint of beer or a casual lunch can cost significantly more than you might expect. The United States offers a wider spectrum. While cities like New York and San Francisco are pricey, you can find much more affordable options for food and lodging once you get into the smaller towns and rural areas. In America, your dollar can stretch further if you're smart about where you go. Getting around presents its own set of challenges. Australia is so huge and its population so concentrated along the coast that flying is often the only practical way to get between major cities. Driving is certainly possible and offers incredible scenery, but the distances are colossal. In terms of safety, both countries are generally very safe for travelers, particularly if you stick to the usual precautions. In Australia, the biggest dangers are arguably not from people, but from nature. The sun, the surf, and the aforementioned creepy crawlies. Heed the signs, wear sunscreen, and don't swim in places where crocodiles are known to hang out. In the United States, the main concerns are the same as in any large developed nation. Be aware of your surroundings in big cities, don't leave valuables in your car, and you'll almost certainly be just fine. The people in both countries are, in my experience, overwhelmingly friendly and welcoming to visitors. So, after all this, which country wins the showdown? The truth, of course, is that there is no winner. It's like asking if you prefer sunsets, sunrises. The right choice depends entirely on what you're looking for. Australia and the United States are both magnificent, endlessly fascinating destinations that offer profoundly different experiences. The question is not which one is better, but which one is better for you right now. It all comes down to the kind of traveler you are and the sort of adventure your heart is craving. If you are seeking a true escape, a journey into ancient landscapes, a laid-back, sun-drenched culture, then Australia is your answer. It's the place for those who want to feel a sense of rugged isolation, see wildlife that exists nowhere else on Earth, relax on some of the world's most beautiful beaches. It's for the traveler who wants to sip world-class coffee in a hip urban laneway, then drive for hours without seeing another soul. It is a trip that feels like a genuine adventure to a different, older world, a place to decompress, marvel at nature's weird and wonderful creations. If, on the other hand, you crave variety, iconic sights, a journey through a cultural kaleidoscope, then the United States is calling your name. It's the destination for the road tripper, city lover, national park enthusiast. It's for the traveler who wants to see the neon glow of Times Square, feel the awesome scale of the Grand Canyon, tap their foot to live jazz in a New Orleans bar. It offers a dizzying array of experiences. High-culture, greasy spoon diners, epic mountain ranges, sprawling metropolises. It is a country of boundless energy and endless possibility. Ultimately, the choice is a wonderful one to have. My advice? Start saving. See one and then, as soon as you can, see the other. You can't possibly be disappointed by either.